Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today this is going to be such an inspirational video for you guys that are struggling in femininity. And the first thing I want to say is that if you have been struggling within your femininity, you've been watching these feminine videos and you really just haven't been able to grasp this concept and utilize it in your daily life, I just want to let you know it is okay. You are not alone. First of all, I want to say that, if you were born and raised, and I'm pretty sure you are, between probably the ages 1960 or even 1950s to like the present day, trust and believe that you're in a generation that was a feminist movement power generation. And what I mean by that, because I think a lot of people don't understand that there's a difference between being feminine and feminist. And the ideology of feminism began because women were not receiving equal rights, and that is okay. It's good that we're able to vote now, things like that, or even to work. I get it, it's great, and I love it, and I'm very appreciative of the beginning of the feminist movement. But the problem is, feminist movement has turned into, overpowering, and it's almost seeming as if like a lot of women were how do I say it? They were like trained in our generation, right? To basically try to be better or try to feel like, okay, you don't need a man. And that is not right, okay? And this is women of all races, white, black, Latina, all of them. And it's really sad because this ideology of the new feminism, which I call it isolation, because it's basically telling you, you don't need to be reliant on anyone, which is absolutely not true. We all need help. We all need help in certain areas. We all can rely on a man for certain aspects. And I myself can attest that I definitely use my femininity to my advantage, so, I don't like this new ideology of women trying to be overtly powerful, extremely powerful to the point where they are just isolated. That's why I say isolated movement instead of feminist movement. So, just know, my point in saying all of this is that just know that this has been going on for many, many decades. It's very intentionally, and just know that you're not alone. And I know that it feels like you're stuck. You're like, man, I didn't have the the feminine experience that some people had. Luckily some people were born and raised in a household where their mom and their dad taught them, feminine traits. Like maybe their dad taught them how to be courted from a man and their mom taught them how to be feminine. That's great if you had in the household, because we know in society we couldn't rely on that if you were living in our generation. But some women didn't get that experience. Some people, and that might be you, have lived in a dysfunctional household where maybe you didn't have your mom and dad. You maybe, were raised from a grandma or another guardian. So just know that you are not alone. And I know sometimes you probably feel like, oh, nobody understands me, or I'm so different and I miss the experience. Trust me, you're not alone, and we're in this together. The second piece of advice I want to give you is to basically educate yourself. Know the difference between submission, feminism, feminist, how these things have evolved. It will definitely help you in your daily life with dealing with managers, or being in a relationship, or hopefully being in a marriage. So definitely educate yourself on these things. Now, I even talked a little bit about this in I have a video. It was talking about Kenya Moore and some of her masculine language. I'll put the the link up here. A lot of people in the comments, as you see it was a very interesting topic, and they didn't really understand what the difference was between submissiveness and being feminine. So that is something that I definitely say do your homework on, educate yourself, so you can utilize these tools to live the best life that you want to live. The next piece, the inspiration or advice that I want to give you is don't beat yourself up if you're making a lot of mistakes along the way, okay? Like, I truly, feel like sometimes, the internet could be a good and a bad thing. And recently there's been just an overwhelming a lot of YouTubers that have been talking about femininity, which is great. Like, I love that we're using our voices and our experiences to educate others. But the problem is, I feel like some YouTubers are being antagonistic. Like, oh, if you're not acting feminine like this, then this is the reason why you're not getting a man, or you're not in a relationship, or why nobody has asked you to be their wife. Like, I think it is pretty crazy to just believe that femininity solves everything. No, it's just a way to maneuver around life easier. So I just want to let you know that if you feel like you haven't been meeting the right guys, and you've just been dealing with similar situations consistently, just know it probably is not you. It may be the guys, it may be just society in general. Everybody, I feel like this generation we live in is like really, really trash. But don't worry, I just want to give you hope and hope that it's okay. You are not making a mistake. Your mistakes are turning into lessons. So just don't beat yourself up if you feel like you just continuously making the same mistakes. The next piece of advice I want to give you is don't put so much pressure on yourself. Oh my goodness. I just want to tell you a quick story. Like, I remember one time I was, I needed to go to the store really, really fast. So I just put on some jogging pants and my hoodie, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go and come back. It's gonna be a quick shot, right? And I saw somebody that I knew, okay? The guy was cute. I knew him, and I was almost like mortified. I had like a quick little internal meltdown. But listen, if this ever happens to you, or you had a similar situation, just know it is okay. Like, yes, I understand that we always should look our best. We always should wear feminine clothing and have our hair done, makeup done, all that heals. I get it. I understand. But understand this too. You are human, okay? And sometimes, like I said, you need to go to the store real quick, and you may not have time to just put on a full face of makeup and put on your, nice hair or whatever. So I understand, and you are human. If you put so much pressure on yourself, this is actually going to delay your feminine journey. You're gonna miss out on the progress that you're making, and you're gonna dwell on that one little thing or that one incident that happened when you weren't being as feminine as you could. I get it. Like, just relax. And just don't put that much pressure on yourself, and understand you are human. I also want to challenge you to understand that there is not one way to be feminine. There's multiple ways to be feminine, and don't just look at maybe one person and say, okay, this is femininity, and if I don't look like this, then I may not be doing something correct. Like, no, that's not how it should be. Be comfortable. Be a dynamic person. Femininity is also about being a chameleon. Just one day being like this, and next day kind of being mysteriously and shocking people. Like, so don't be like a script. Don't say, oh, I just have to look like this or act like this or be like this. No, be dynamic and be comfortable with who you are. The next piece of advice I have for you is to keep track of small progresses within your big goal. This is so important because, again, if you're like in a situation where you're just trying not to make mistakes, and you feel like, okay, I've been working on something so hard and so long, you're gonna miss out on the little progress that you've been making to hit that big goal. So let me give you an example. Let's say if you want to work on your makeup, right? Let's say you just never was good at putting on a full face of makeup, and one day you realize, okay, well, my eyebrows look great. I never knew how to do eyebrows before. Now I know how to do eyebrows. Or, before I didn't know how to contour. Now I can contour. And those little small things that you've learned has added up to putting up the full face of makeup. You see what I'm saying? So make sure you keep track and reward yourself of the small goals, because those small goals helps you accomplish your bigger goal. The next tip that I have is for you to make sure you think positively. Now, make sure that you are around good energy. Take away any negative vibes, anybody that's draining and just going to cause you to have, really bad energy. Always have good energy, because when you have bad energy, you're not motivated, okay? You're not going to get up in the morning, and sprint for your goals. So make sure that you always have good energy so you can be motivated to do better and hit those goals every single day. And last but not least, make sure that you get help if you need it. Like I said, if you were in a situation where you feel like you grew up in a dysfunctional household, or you're just harboring in some, unresolved issues, you definitely want to get help, because that could hinder you from your feminine journey. It's so important to heal that little girl in you, so she can be able to grow and progress into a feminine grown woman. Also, you can talk to feminine women. Other feminine women will probably give you their pointers or their tips or tricks, or even just their aura that helps them, navigate around this world. A good foundation is the key to any goal that you want to accomplish. So make sure that you get the help that you need so you can have a clear and healthy mind. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment below. Just give some positive advice, or just even positive energy or inspiration to others that may be watching this video. Also, make sure you like and hit that subscribe button and share this video as well. I'll see you in the next one.
You got me some type of way.